Trying to figure out chat. Doesn't want to work again. I don't know why my chat's always breaking. Every time it logs me out, it seems to break. Um, it's so weird. Kinda hate Streamlabs. Kinda hate it. Hey Farm Tech. I'm alright. How you doing? I had to open up YouTube to see chat. Okay, well, Streamlabs chat seems to be working, so I'll just use that instead of the browser dock. That's good. Glad to hear it. Oh, hard to get this glove on. I think my hand's a little sweaty. Just a little bit. But hopefully we'll finish this OLED today. Alright. That's good. So, let's see. Last time I finished installing everything, and I just need to put the mod chip on and test it. Now, I'm not sure if... Alright, get out of the way, antenna. I'm not sure if these mod chips I bought have the firmware pre-installed. But we can plug it in and see. Maybe it does. Let me take this heat shield. I gotta bend this little section. Let's see, where's the section? I gotta bend right there where that clip is. That should be good. I really don't even have to put this on, but why not? Perfect. Let me make sure these little flaps are up. They are. Good. Alright. That one's in. There we go. Alright. I have to solder this wire to the B point. I'm just going to leave it long for now, just in case I have to take it back off. I don't have a microscope camera. What's going on? Man, every time, I don't know why it does this. Wait. Wait, switch it. Yeah, it's not detecting it. What did I do to fix this last time? I just turn it off and on. Let's try that. Always with the random issues when I start stream. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Let me focus this. I got it pretty close to exactly the right height. That's good. We're looking at this B point here. How's that look on camera? There you go. That's good. All right. We are just going to put a little flux on it. This is probably going to result in too much, but we're going to try. There we go. That's good. That's all we need. Let me clean this tip. There we go. That should be good. I need to get the wire in here. I'm setting my temp to 420 so I can burn the enamel off. Okay, that should be good. And yeah, I think that's all we need. And clean up some of this flux. Okay. Alright, let's get everything plugged back in. Nope, that little latch fell down. Come on. There we go. Still don't want to go in. Wonder if there's a little flux in there. Uh-oh. Hope it's not a bent pin. Something in the middle is keeping it from going in all the way. Looks okay. I mean, you know, naked eye and all. I think I replaced this one already. Uh-oh. There's definitely something blocking it. Let's see if I can see it with the microscope while it's in here. It's gonna be tough. Let me hold this back with the spudger. I gotta focus this. It's hard to see with it being in the case. Might have to take it out. Oh, are there two pins missing off that? Kind of looks to me like there is 3 pins. How do these get messed up so easily? Let me take it out real quick. I'm gonna look at it better. Okay, I only have one screw in here. Is that all I have screwed in? No, I have this screw as well. Alright, don't want to set the screen on the screws. Alright, let's look at it now. Wow. Wow. Holy. How does that happen? That's definitely going to need to be replaced. Alright, let me get the board holder. I already replaced this one too. Good thing I have more. Right, that should be okay. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let's heat this up and get this off. I have 450. Do I want to use the nozzle? Yeah, I'll use the nozzle. So we'll just do like 50% airspeed. Just trying to beat up the bottom for now. And probably about an inch and a half from the board, just so it cools the air down a little bit before it hits the board. I'm just trying to preheat it. Yeah, we're probably preheated now, so now we're just going to focus on this area. I'm much closer to the board now. Okay. Touch this up a little. Which tip do I have on my iron? Perfect, I have the round tip. We are going to use nanoflux because it's thin and I'm hoping it won't get into the port. But we're going to use quite a bit of it. And clean that a bit. Okay, that's good. Do we have enough on that end right there? There we go. Now we do. Look at this a little bit better and go up on the microscope. There. Yeah, those all look okay. Let's grab our new connector. Let's look at it before we put it on. Oops, dipped it in the flux a little. It looks okay. It doesn't look like any pins are weird, so let's just set this on here. Now the fun part. I'm actually going to move it back a bit so I can rest my hand while I'm doing this. Tricky part is getting it lined up. Right there. That is pretty dang good, I'd say. Should flow right into place once we heat it. It moved a little, but no, let me see if I can just give it a tiny little tap. That's good. That'll be good enough. Board should still be warm, so don't have to preheat as much. I'm just gonna go right into it. Once again, we are at 450 with 50% airspeed. I'm just waiting to see it drop down. Okay, hasn't dropped all the way. I might have to give it a tap. Hopefully I don't bump it out of the way, because that's a possibility. Just gonna try to press it down a little. Alright, I think the top melted a bit from the temperature of my tweezers. Oh, no, just a little flux. Okay, we're good. Just flux on my tweezers. Leave that on. Well, that sure is just spreading around, ain't it? Alright, let's check our points. Okay, do any look weird? No, those are definitely all connected. Let's look at the other side. Over here. Let me refocus this a bit. Those do not look connected. Looks like we might be high on one side here. Let's heat it up again. I think that side looks high. Nah, I could definitely see the gold contacts weren't covered in any solder. Also, hey Russ, how's it going? So you hold this side down a little. Don't need a lot of pressure. But I do need to make sure I melt the whole thing. hand is getting hot. I think that's good. All right, let's check again. No, that didn't do nothing, did it? Okay, I think we're just gonna drag solder those. So we're still. Okay, actually that did improve it. That did improve it. Okay, let's poke them. Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if that one's in, they're all in. Because I can see they all have soaked up solder. Just gonna poke test a couple of them. Yep, that's good. Yeah, okay, these are all good. I can tell. These were the only ones I was worried about, but they're definitely in there. Take another look at the other side. Yeah, those are definitely all good. All right. Let's clean this a little. I wonder if when I blew air into it last time, that kind of dislodged some of the little pins in there. And maybe that's how it got broken. Too much PSI. Just doing less air pressure than I did last time. Alright. It's still got some alcohol in there, but hoping there's not really any flux in there. I know, yeah, I know, right? I'm scared to blast it too much now. Because I literally just replaced this last time I was streaming, and then go to plug in the OLED, and it's like, it's got like 3 horribly bent pins in there. It's so hard to get all the flux off of one of those connectors or no, and around it without like messing it up. Hey Devil, how's it going? How you been? We're finishing up that OLED from last stream. Potentially the air that I blasted it out with last time maybe messed up some of the pins. Because it had some horribly bent pins in there when I tried to plug in the OLED. This speaker where it belongs. Let me get this wire out of the way. There we go. Oh, that sat in perfectly. No resistance at all. Alright, let's stick a screw in here. Alright, let's try and plug this in. There we go. There we go. We're in now. All good. Let me clean a little around it now. Now that I have the cable in there and I can't mess anything up. Alright. So we're fully hooked up. All I gotta do is test it. So let's do that. Let's see, put a bit of flux right there. Alright. Dry it out a little faster. Alright, let's get everything plugged in. And then I'm going to check the diode readings. Hey, get in there. This one's always a little interesting to get in here. Very tight space and you have to bend it. Okay, come on. Go. Get in. Alright, there. It's in. We did it. And that one's in. Alright, what are we missing? We're not missing anything. All that's left is speakers. Alright, I think we're good to test it. Actually, let me put that other piece on so I can put, because I need to put an SD card in it. Where did I set the parts for this one? That's a good question. The heat sink is up here. What do I do with the daughter board? Ah, it's over here. There we go. This is shorter than the right screw for here, but it's the same thread. So I'm just gonna put that in. I haven't sold anything yet, dude. I really haven't done shit the past week, to be honest. I'm just gonna get my screws out. Put one more screw in this. Alright. Well, let's make sure it charges. Okay, charging. A battery indicator? Oh wait, it's glitching. It's glitching, I see it. Now, I did not install firmware on this one. I wanted to see if it came with firmware or not. Very true, Devil. Very true. And we're good. Successful. Now let's plug in an SD card. And let me just shut it off by pulling the power. Put this SD card in. And we should boot right into Hecate. Boom. That was a fast glitch too. Wow. That was like instant. We did it. We are on a modded OLED. First one, Kamikaze, that I've modded. Alright. Sweet. Now I gotta put it back together. Awesome. Alright. Let's put it back together. Now, Devil, I have a question for you. When you install these, do you typically update the firmware on the hardware flies, or do you just, like if they function, you just leave them as is? Like is it necessary to be using the absolute latest firmware on it? No, that glitch that was like, dude, that was fast. Um, it's like instant almost. Do I have to unscrew this to get the fan stuff in? I haven't put an OLED back together in like, dude, it's been a minute. I do want to shorten this wire too, though, the B point. I just left it long just in case it wasn't working. So let me do that real quick. And then, I want to double-sided tape this down and wrap it in some Captain tape. All right. So now I clean the flux off there. Let me put a tiny bit more. There, that's plenty. Yeah, okay. I just, uh, I wasn't sure if mine had the firmware on them or not. I was like, I'll just try it, see. Hey, 8-bit, how's it going? Am I at 420? Yes, I'm at 420. Gotta burn that enamel off of there. That looks a little dirty. I'm gonna add a little solder to that. Let's see if this wire stays. Let me clean the tip. Got a little oxidation on it. There we go. Now let me hit it with some flux. Just because that joint looks a little eh, you know? Lower my iron temp now because that enamel's definitely off. I'm getting better at it. Wait, I don't need that. There we go, beautiful. 8-bit. Yeah, dude. Let me wiggle that wire off of there. Okay, I don't want to come off. There we go. Alright, let's clean that up a bit. Hold this down with my finger so it's not moving on me. Good. Alright, is there anything else? Yeah, I probably should actually take that B point off first and then stick my double-sided tape under, and then yeah, I gotta take this back off because I've got to do thermal paste. So I'll just take that B point back off actually. But I got the wire to size now, which is really what I wanted. My methods will improve over time. Is that off of there? Yes. Okay. I gotta rebend the little clips on this too so that it locks down better. Uh, that makes sense, but honestly, I have the B point so short now, I would be afraid to rip it. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, bending these back in. Man, focus, focus. There we go. Alright, let's put these back in place. Alright, put some thermal paste. Well, you know what? Let's put this in some Captain tape first. Do you wrap yours in Captain tape so that they don't, you know, that there's no chance of them like contacting the metal frame or anything? Like NanoFix does? Be cool if I had a Captain tape that was like, I guess this is just about big enough, huh? Cover most of it. Don't want to cover the B point though. Go just above it. Good. Is that good? Nope, a little too low. A little too low. That's good right there. Okay, that'll work. That's good, huh? Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not gonna do this top part. I never even did my diode readings, but that's okay. I guess it works, huh? Give the CPU one last little, or the APU one last little clean before I put on the paste. It's probably way too much, but it's okay. A little extra thermal paste never hurt anybody. There we go. It's snapped down nicely. Oh wait, I think this top corner is not on there. Yeah, it is. Okay, we're good. It just doesn't sit perfectly flat, but it will once we put the heatsink on. Is it? Yeah. I guess yeah, that's true. But I gotta educate my viewers while I'm educating myself. Alright, double-sided tape. I have some somewhere down here. Here it is. Put down like 2 of them. Oh, actually one more, so I can get that right side. Dang, Russ, that's quite the story. we go. Alright, that's stuck down. Extra thermal paste, stole my lunch money, shoved me in a locker, and banged my mom. Dang, dude. That was some hardcore thermal paste. You triple check everything I do so that at the end I do thermal paste and keep everything ready to assemble after I confirm the mod chip working. Alright, well, let's put this B point back. Hopefully I'm doing things in order this time. There we go. It's still blurry for you guys. And there, now that's better. Just squeeze a tiny bit of flux up there. Perfect. Yeah. Alright, where's my cable? My wire's right here. Eh, there we go. Alright, straighten it out. Yeah, let me use my right hand for this. There. Okay, that's good. If I can hold it down like this, maybe. You stay there. Yeah, like that. Eh, do better than that. There we go, perfect. See if I can get a Q-tip kind of to squeeze all that out as much as I can at least. Alright, looks good. Now that we're all stuck down and everything, let's confirm we're still working. Superhero backstory, dude. No, that's a fucking villain origin story, bro. Now he lives his life to make sure that thermal pastes no longer harm anyone else. We're glitching and we're good. Alright, just unplug that real quick. Let's get these screws in. I'm gonna clean up some of this. I got too much crap. Either that or he got scarred from the thermal paste and now he he repeats the same mistakes as the thermal paste. That would be brutal. I'll get this down here. You will go down there without me having to unscrew it. There we go. Wait, is that even how that goes? No, I don't think it is. I think it just goes... Yeah, it doesn't go down there. Man, I haven't worked on an OLED in too long. I gotta pull this back out. There we go. Ah, you invented liquid metal? Dude, that's epic. The liquid metal is even worse than the thermal paste. It killed your father and all your electronics. This speaker wire just does not want to cooperate. It wants to do its own thing. There we go. Get in there. Eh. Oh my gosh. Why will you not go in there? I usually don't have a hard time with the speaker wires anymore, but this one hates me. Alright, there we go. We did it. We got a speaker in. This one's gonna be fun. Okay, it's like perfectly lined up. Just go in there. There we go. Boom. Where's that metal piece? I know the little metal piece that covers the USB-C popped off. Here it is. Make sure it goes into the little clips. There we go. Alright, now we can screw everything in, right? Yes, everything is plugged in. Man, I gotta buy more OLEDs. I think I actually like working on these more than the regular switches, but they're a lot harder for me to get off eBay. There's way more regular switches than OLEDs posted. Why did that feel like it went down too much? Maybe I'm just imagining it. It's just those three screws, right? Yeah, because these are heatsink. Okay. These screws. These are longer ones, I think. I don't think these are the short ones. But now I'm kind of doubting myself because if it is the long one, if it's not the long ones, what are the odds that this hits the hits the OLED? I think this is the longer screw. That's definitely the longer screw. That felt right. Alright, what the heck's next? Fan? I think the fan's on my shelf. I know. Dude, I make sure never to buy any OLEDs with like bad quality screens because then I mean, it's basically just, at that point, it's like, why did you even buy the OLED? Because the screens are, $110. Nobody actually replaces them because they're so expensive. Pretty much just, you know, if it's got a bad screen, it's just a donor. This goes this way. Come on, get under there, cable. There we go. What is a spudger? Here we go. Okay, it's connected. Oh, dude. Anytime I see a screen protector on a console, I'm like, alright, I know this one's in fantastic condition. I'm pulling the trigger. You just got into soldering, but you still need to learn the voltage things and how to read the multimeter. Oh, that's cool, man. We've all been there. Alright, now I gotta remember the order of the screws. I think only one screw goes in here, and it's the top right until you put the metal case on it. Pretty sure that's the only screw that goes in. It doesn't want to stay down. Alright, I don't think I'm missing anything. I think that's it. And then this goes on. Oh, wait. I did I missed the heatsink. Yeah, it needs a heatsink, guys. See? This is why we're patient. Right here. Okay, good. I already cleaned it. Where's my thermal paste? It's been too long since I worked on OLEDs. I've just been doing regular switches. Even the regular ones have heat sinks though, so you know, you think I wouldn't miss that part. What are these ones? These are the short silver ones. Usually if I'm gonna get, well, you're talking about like working OLEDs, because I usually buy them broken. But I mean, you know, if this is modding them works out for me, then I can buy them working too. But I usually try to get them broken for like around 80 US dollars. Okay, now we can put this on. I must have put new rails on this because this cable is not really shaped like the factory ones. Kind of got to press it down. Alright, now we put that one screw in. I do believe this one screw is like technically supposed to be 0.1 millimeters longer or something, but dude, it's such a small difference, I really don't think it matters. Okay, now more thermal paste. I have never bought a switch light. I'm sure, like, if I was modding them, it'd be worth it, but almost all the switch lights I see that are broken on eBay are like 50 bucks. And I'm like, dude, if I fix this, I'm gonna sell it for like 60. Cause like just the Switch lights unmodded don't sell for shit. They're really not worth much. There you go. Yeah, White, good luck, man. And yeah, there's a lot of people around. Just hang out in streams. And I mean, if you go to a few streams, like you'll see a lot of other people in the chat. And a lot of them are also just technicians. So really you can like start from any stream and just kind of find this whole freaking community. Now I gotta remember all these screws. So, I'm pretty sure these are all the same. I'm like 95% sure these are all the long screws that are silver. Or therapy. Yeah. Repair, fix, or tech, pretty much. Nah, you really don't, dude. Like, you don't have to be an electrical engineer to be able to fix things. Honestly, there's so much, like, knowledge that people are putting out on YouTube and during their wait, that one doesn't go in yet. And on their streams and stuff that I mean, okay, like I still don't understand all the circuits and I still don't understand like schematics perfectly. I mean, I kind of get the gist of the schematic. I can kind of roughly understand it, but like everything I've learned up to this point has been from like trial and error and watching other people on just like YouTube and Twitch streams. So you absolutely don't need to get an electrical engineering course. You could totally self teach all of this. When I first started, I watched a lot of Learn Electronics Repair because he explains things really well. And he has like a couple courses where it just kind of goes over all the basics. Well, yeah, electricity is scary, yeah, but everything is like low voltage, right? So there's not like a crazy amount of risk. Um, like the sketchiest thing is probably injecting voltage, and eventually you'll figure out like how to safely do that too. Most of the time you're testing things with it powered off. Sometimes you power it on and you just check voltages, but as long as you're not like bridging 2 points or something like that, then there's no risk of like shorting anything out. I'm procrastinating putting this back together because I'm like, okay, is this all right? This little thing has to go like around there and then like that. Okay, yeah, like that. Alright, let me get this, see if I can get this tape up. I'm gonna use tweezers instead. Where's my blunt tweezers? Here they are. Which side of this did I peel up? Probably the bottom. Yeah, power supplies can be dangerous. You just have to discharge the capacitors before you work on it. Alright, and now a screw has to go in here before I put the wire in. Oop. Yeah, exactly. Let me see if I can hold this, and there we go. And rotate it. Boom. Yeah, those are the electrolytic caps. The other type of caps, like the surface mounted ones, don't have to be discharged. Okay, come on. There we go. It's honestly as simple as like taking a wire and putting a resistor in between it so it can just basically discharge into heat. There's also like little devices out there made for discharging them, but I actually just have a wire with a resistor soldered in between the two wires. A large insulated screwdriver. You just touch it to both sides, I guess, huh? And then, yeah. Yeah, what Russ said. Do I have enough, get on there. Let me turn this and rotate this. There we go. Popped on. I'm supposed to get that under the tape, but that's okay. It ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I think we're good. Did I get every screw in? No, there's still one screw there. Just a little harmless pop. No big deal. Alright, now that's all the screws. Alright, let's make sure everything still works. And then I'll put the back plate on. Yep, we're good. I'll turn it off. Okay, we're off. Is this back plate in good condition? Yep, really good condition. And I gotta put these little screens in at the bottom. Okay. Slide on in there. There. I think we're good. Oop, the hinge doesn't want to go in there. Why not? Is that hinge having difficulties? Oh, there we go. Make sure I'm not squishing the screens. No, that hinge is still being tricky. There it goes. And this one. There we go. This bottom bezel got just a tiny bit warped. That's okay. Anything you can find around the house. Suppose it's fine as long as I'm not messing around with the power supply board. Which ironically is the thing I wanted to fix, but was too scared. Well, you had a good reason to be scared of it. So it's probably a good thing you didn't mess with it since it was a power supply. But now you know. Yeah, and like Devil said, I've never been shocked while working on anything either. Yeah, honestly, literally, I would just recommend anything you can find around the house that's maybe not a power supply, or even, maybe it is a power supply. Just learn how to discharge it first. Controllers, yeah, controllers are good. I kind of jumped right into Nintendo Switches because I was like, I could get 3 of these for $140. If I mess up, it's not the end of the world. I have 3 chances. So that was kind of what I did. I don't think I fixed anything before the Nintendo Switches. I tried to fix some things, but I think the first thing I actually successfully fixed that required like a multimeter and soldering was a Nintendo Switch. Just a version 1 or 2. It's too dead to turn on. Okay, now I gotta remember what screws go where on this. Uh, I believe these are the top and bottom. Yep, this definitely goes there. Oh, it did turn on. I'm surprised it had enough battery. And the rail screws. Alright, Devil. You found an old PS3 in your attic and it doesn't run, just a blinking red light. Looked it up and something about overheating. That's a good project to work on. That could honestly just be something as easy as you take it apart and replace the thermal paste and any thermal pads on it. Maybe, clean off the fan. Could have a bunch of dust in the heat sink. What else am I missing? The Y screws. Those the only outside screws on the OLED, I think. Top, bottom, rails, Y screws. Damn, I think we're done. Man, the screen's dirty. That's like, okay, I've never fixed a PS3. Devil would know more about it, but I would think that's a permanent failure. You said it's a blinking red light. Does it go to the blinking red light like the moment you turn it on? Or does it take like a minute for it to do that? Alright, let's charge this. Yeah, Ace works on a lot of older stuff. You hear the fan for less than a second, and then it beeps and just blinks red indefinitely. Okay, so it sounds like it's attempting to boot and failing. Yeah, check out Ace console repairs. Key streams every day of the week, pretty much. He works on a lot of like older Xboxes. He works on like older PlayStations. He works on some of like newer stuff too. But he's very knowledgeable. I think you could learn a lot from him. Yeah, AI is pretty decent. Um, I've used AI for a few of my repairs, and while it's not always like perfectly right, um, it can like lead you to test different things that you might not have thought of. Or if you say have a fault, you can be like, okay, what you can ask the AI like, okay, what typically triggers this fault? And sometimes it'll be like, oh, this is looking like, for example, on the Switch, it could be like, okay, this is most likely an M92 failure. And then what you can do is now you know where to look, right? So you start poking around that specific chip, and sometimes it can lead you to an answer that you wouldn't have got on your own. Yeah, what Russ said is a good idea. Always good habit, good practice to just maintenance things, especially the PlayStations, since they have such a tendency to overheat. Yeah, even if you can't fix something, definitely like don't get discouraged too. Like if you're unable to fix the PS3, it doesn't matter because what matters is that you learned something from attempting it. And then each time you fail something, you're getting better and better at what you're doing. I mean, I've had quite a few Nintendo Switches that I haven't been able to repair, but I definitely learned what to do and what not to do from them. Clean this screen a little. This is a good screen. I don't think there's any scratches on it. Maybe there's one little scratch right here. The screen's in good condition. Well, I'm just gonna leave it to charge. I just wanted to do like a real short stream, so I'm probably gonna hop off now. But hey, we got the first Kamikaze modded OLED working on this channel. Hopefully I can buy more and get more working. I think the next thing we're gonna do, um, probably mod several of the working Nintendo Switches I have. They're just V1, V2s. They're very simple, you know, just soldering those 2 points. Um, so hopefully I can, you know, attempt to sell those and see how that goes. Because if I'm able to sell them consistently, then I think, you know, not only are we going to repair stuff on this channel, but I'm also going to be modding a lot more. And that would be nice, because I enjoy doing that. Hey, thanks, White. And what were you saying? My main mouse right key wasn't working, so I replaced the component inside from a donor mouse. Oh, sweet. Oh, nice. You desoldered it and soldered one back in? But the right mouse click just stopped working? Oh, man. Mice can be tricky. I I had a mouse that I fixed, and it was working great, and weirdly, like, the switches are kind of sticky now. I'm not sure why. I don't know if like a little bit of flux got into it or something. Um, it was like one of the first things I did fix. It was like after I did the couple Nintendo Switches, my mouse started going out, and so I think I did that. Definitely could have done a better job on it, but now I know, you know? Yeah, exactly. But you learned how not to solder and put on the the mouse things, right? I'm forgetting what they're called at the moment. The mouse, God, why my brain is all over the place today. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here and thank you guys for stopping in. I appreciate it. It's always fun and enjoyable. I want to try and stream at least one more time this week, so hopefully tomorrow or Friday. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.